Hi everyone! In just a few seconds, our next STEM video will begin, and it's all about the water cycle. However, this activity does use hot water, so if you choose to do it, it requires adult supervision and active participation. Under no circumstances should your child do this alone or be left alone while doing it. Or, if you choose not to do the experiment, simply watch it. Marko does a really great job of showing us what is happening during the experiment and how that relates to the water cycle. So, either way, I hope you'll learn a lot and that you have fun. See you next time.
Hi everyone, welcome to our second STEM video. I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Marko and I am going to be our STEM instructor. And for today's STEM video, we are going to be learning about the water cycle, and I'm very excited to teach you guys all about it. Before we begin, I just want to let you know the list of materials that we are going to need for today. You are going to need ice, hot water, a jar, and hairspray, and adult supervision for this activity. So for those of us who may not be familiar with the water cycle, I want to give us a brief little introduction to it so that way we might better understand. So the water cycle tells us about how water moves around the earth, from a body of water like an ocean, lakes, rivers, into the atmosphere, so the sky, and back down to the earth as rain. So usually the water from ocean, lakes, and rivers will evaporate and turn into clouds in the sky, and then when there's enough water in the clouds, it'll become heavy enough to rain back down into the earth and into bodies of water, and it goes around in a circular motion, and that's what I'm hoping will be evident in our activity today. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm boiling some water for our activity, and I please want to stress that you do have an adult boiling water for this activity. So you just want to make sure you have some water boiled ahead of time before we begin. So in front of me I have all the materials we are going to need for today's activity. I have boiling water here, ice, hairspray, and a jar, and it's important that your jar does have a lid. So what we are going to be doing today is making clouds in a jar, okay? And to do that, you're going to have your jar here, and you're going to have your lid. You're going to take your hot water, and you're going to pour it into the jar about 1/3 of the way. Okay? What you're going to do is once you have your hot water in, you're going to quickly put on the lid, and then you're going to take your ice and put it on top of the lid. And you're going to keep the lid on with the ice for about 20 seconds.
Few moments later.
Once 20 seconds has passed, you're going to take your hairspray and you're going to lift the lid very quickly and spray your hairspray in there. And put the lid back on top very quickly. And just wait a little bit, and you're going to see clouds form in the jar. And when you see enough condensation forming in the jar, you can lift your lid, and there you go. These are the clouds here. So I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was pretty cool. But even though it was cool, we might not understand quite what actually happened, so allow me to explain. We have a body of water here in our jar. Let's pretend it's the ocean, and it's hot water. And what happens with hot water is it evaporates, and it's evaporating into the sky, which is the air part here, and it hits the cold air, which is the ice cubes. And so we can only see the clouds forming when we lift the lid because it's now clinging into things that are in the air, which in nature would be air pollution, pollen, volcanic ash, whatever we find naturally in our environment. And so we're seeing it collect into the air, get colder, and that's why we can visibly see it. Now what happens naturally in nature is once enough clouds have collected in the air, it starts to get heavier and heavier and heavier, that it starts to fall down back into the ocean. So once the clouds have collected up here, it'll start to rain and go back into the ocean, heat up, evaporate, go into the clouds, get heavy, and rain back down again. And there's the cycle. I'll go around and around and around. Well, there you guys have it. We learned a little bit about the water cycle today and how water moves around in the earth with precipitation, evaporation, and condensation. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.